Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash. That's all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah of the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And yeah, man, I'm watching the Elder Rakaya Klam, his live stream, and I had to jump in on a certain portion and just hit it while the iron is hot. And this is something that I was briefly touching on yesterday, and I love that the Elder had these clips to go into this, because what Esau is doing is he's setting himself back up as a god on earth. This devil is he's strategically taking the back seat and gave niggas the ability to get above to a certain extent. And now he let that shit go awry by introducing certain ideologies, like the whole alphabet community, the whole mixing and confusion of what a man and woman is. And this all is him stepping in and saying, hey, I gave it a chance. You niggas were wrong. Because every time they sat there and gave a chance for Jake to, elevate, they mixed it in with madness. Right? Bruce Jenner is the woman of the year, all this stuff, right? But they mixed in Jake with those platforms and those outreaches, and now he's pulling it all away. So let's get into this, and Lord will, I make this as edifying as possible through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Difference in IQ between races is unimportant because it increases in all of them. It is only that, for example, whites began to increase earlier than blacks. We all get higher results in IQ tests as time goes by. What do you think about that?
Tom Sowell is referring there to the Flynn effect, that and the argument goes like this: that basically the black mean right now is about where the white mean was in 1940 if you equate these IQ scores over time.
By the way, I must tell you that these IQ scores are completely set up. The IQ tests, by the way, are set up for the purpose of getting this particular result. It's all Satan, so it's not real, okay?
Tricky phenomenon. That's a tricky thing to say because it does require you to assume that you're looking at real changes in cognitive functioning. But Tom Sowell, who is both a friend and a person I admire greatly, has said other things about the IQ difference, where he's convinced that it is a source of a lot of cultural attributes. And to me, I don't think I need to argue with that question. If I were to differ with Tom at all, and I'm not even sure that how much we differ on this, it would go as follows. The gap has not reduced.
What he's about to tell you is the gap between so-called white intelligence and so-called black intelligence has never reduced, even as time goes on. Yeah.
And that's this devil doing this right here. It says, this is I think it's in Job. Let me get it, man. Maybe in Psalms, actually. Yeah, Psalm 62:4, it says, they only consent to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. And now those IQ tests are always skewed in bullshit and lies. He determines what's intelligent. He wrote the framework for what is intelligent. But go into this devil's history. Right, let me get, right, in the Victorian era, right? Let me see. Right, this is from 10 Dangerous Things in the Victorian Edwardian Homes. It says the late Victorian Edwardian lived through a domestic revolution. There was a bold, exciting age of innovation, breaking ground, or groundbreaking discoveries and dramatic scientific changes, many of which altered life at home in profound ways, including some that were terrible and unforeseen, writes historian Dr. Susanna Lipscomb, right? And a lot of these were foreseen. Only a fucking fool wouldn't be able to see these things. And this is Esau's time where he was the inventor, right? Bread altered with alum, right? It says when basic staples like bread started to be produced cheaply and in large quantities for the new society dwellers, Victorian manufacturers seized on the opportunity to maximize profits by switching ingredients for cheaper substitutes that would add weight and bulk. Bread was altered with plaster of Paris, bean flour, chalk, and alum. Alum is an aluminum-based compound today used in detergent, but then it was used to make bread desirably weightier and heavier. Not only did such alteration lead to problems of malnutrition, but alone produced bowel problems and constipation or chronic diarrhea, which was often fatal for children. Boric acid or borax in milk. Bread was not the only food being altered. Test on 20,000 milk samples in 1882 showed that a fifth had been altered, but much of this was done not by manufacturers but by householders themselves. Borax, which is boric acid, was believed to purify milk, removing the sour taste and smell from milk that had gone off. Right? And what did this cause? Caused tuberculosis, spine deformities in people. Dangerous bathrooms. It says the bathroom was the bathroom as we know it is a Victorian invention, but at first it could be a dangerous place. Besides horrible cases of scalding in the bath, there are even reports that there are incidents of lavatories spontaneously exploding. The reason this might have been possible was the flammable gases such as methane and hydrogen sulfide emanating from the human waste built up in the sewers and early toilets could leak back into the homes where they could theoretically be ignited by a naked flame of a candle. This is all Esau's time where his inventions were coming online, and this is what he made. But here it is, Jake's inventions, and we'll get into that. All Jake's inventions solved this devil's problem. So how is he intellectually more intelligent than Jake when everything that Jake made, he had to patent afterwards? Even the light bulb, this devil had to steal. Right? And even now they could credit fucking Benjamin Franklin, right, with the invention of the light bulb, but he lost the court case to prove that a so-called Negro man is the one that came up with the filament for the light bulb. These devils do not have any merit towards intelligence. They just prop themselves up as though they are the victors of invention, and they're not.
Even as time goes on, yeah, they're just superior, man. It's just the truth. It's science.
First started to give IQ tests back in the early part of the 20th century. The gap was one standard deviation in statistical terms, or 15 IQ points, which means, for those of you who aren't statisticians, which I hope is almost everybody, I say that because I don't think being a statistician is necessarily the right way to spend your life, that if you have somebody who has a 15-point IQ difference and they're one standard deviation above the mean, that means that they're at the 85th percentile, 84th percentile of all people who take the test compared to the person at the mean, which is the 50th percentile. So it's not a small difference. It's a pretty good sized difference. That hasn't really changed.
You see, and they're saying right there, it's not a small difference in intelligence. You Negroes are just behind. And now when they're getting ready to push forward the system, right? I don't need affirmative action. I need... Saw the video that the elder went into.
As we start getting back to merit-based opportunity, let's go to our Peter Ducey.
And that's what I wanted to get on. Merit-based, like the elder was going into, merit-based opportunity. Now, are these inventions based on merit? Right? Radium, a magical new element, was discovered in Edwardian era, a source of energy and brightness and delight, and fascinated the Edwardians. Radium. It was used like asbestos in all manner of products such as cigarettes, condoms, makeup, suppositories, toothpaste, and even chocolate. Above all, there was a craze for the glow in the dark watch faces, right? Which were painted with radium girls. It says, yet, as we now well know, radium is a source for radiation poisoning. If ingested, it could lead to anemia, bone fractures, necrosis of the jaw, and leukemia. And this is what these devils came up with. This is their merit. Even when you go into their modern inventions, everything is riddled with all types of things that break down the body. But these are the victors of intelligence. And this is the merit. And now they take away DEI, right? Right? Trump's federal DEI purge puts hundreds on leave, nixes 420 million in contracts. Right? And what is the merit that they're going to choose? What is the merit they're going to choose to sit here and justify somebody getting a job now? Well, the science backs that these devils, like you heard them, these devils are the intelligent ones that qualify. And you niggas were never good enough to get in those positions. So you're about to see a time where you Jake, you're going to be in the worst fucking possible position. Worst possible position. But these devils are using this as a means, like the scriptures say, a great wrath. You get it, man. Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And these devils are going to use every aspect in order to make your life a fucking living hell. You're about to see Jake get laid off in masses. Because they no longer have to keep a certain amount of quota of Jake in the workforce. They don't. Now you're going to see these Edomite devils at your jobs finding every excuse to fire your asses. We are in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. We are in the time of Jacob's trouble. It's going to be excruciating hard, man. And these devils are coming up with everything. Like the scripture says, it says, this is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they prescribe. This was a prescription. This is something that they had in the works. When they talk about merit, you have no right to it. You didn't have a merit. You didn't get those jobs, but they've been saying it for years. You're a diversity hire, right? You're the token Negro. You're in here because what? We needed to meet a quota. And now they're taking the quota away. So what are they going to do? They're going to get rid of a lot of Jake. It's putting you, Jake, in a position to where you're not going to be able to do anything. you're not going to be able to live. It's not going to be a free ride. You're not going to have a good time. The Lord is removing those comforts away from you in these last days. And these devils have everything set up in order to justify it. So when you had them Negroes out there marching with Moses, well, you set yourself up. You went down that path. You should have never associated yourself with that crew, because they used their madness to justify restricting and getting rid of these things. We're in that time, man. This is what is that, man? Let's just pray a little more.
Opportunity. That's gonna be.
Oh, actually, what I wanted was this. This is and then let me get this other thing what I wanted to grab. Right, straight from the AI. It says, many everyday objects and services that people use today were invented by black people, including folding cabinet, bed, folding iron board, straightening comb, gas mask, traffic signals, durable hairbrushes, super soaker, home security systems, foil electric microphone, chamber commode, automatic elevator doors, color monitors for desktop computers, refrigerated trucks, clothes wringer, blood banks, laser treatment for cataracts. All these things were created by Jake. And many of them don't have any negative downside. But everything this devil creates has an extreme negative downside. So who has the merit? Who has the merit, man? It says, let me get this, man. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And these devils don't sit here and give us any of the props. They act like they're the inventors of all these things, where they're just patenting and they own the rights to it. But you, Jake, are the ones that invented these things. This is why the scriptures say Jacob is the form of all things. Jake created everything that made this world hot. We built this devil's kingdom up, and now he's going to use his science, his lies, to try to prop himself up in this position to make it seem like he's the one who's so great and intelligent. He's the one who has the merit to hold these positions of power, and he has not fulfilled anything in righteousness.
Opportunity. That's code word for we're gonna start putting the high IQ people back in the positions they belong, and putting these low IQ people and these lesbians and all that back in the background.
As we start getting back to merit-based opportunity, let's go to our Peter Ducey at the White House with the latest on this DEI action. Peter.
And, well, it's now less than an hour until all those federally controlled DEI offices will be closed. They'll at least be empty because all of the workers are going to be placed on paid leave, and all of their websites and social media pages have to be, by 5 o'clock tonight, taken offline. And President Trump is explaining his issue with all of this in the executive order. He writes in part, these illegal DEI and DEIA policies also threaten the safety of American men, women, and children across the nation by diminishing the importance of individual merit, aptitude, hard work, and determination when selecting people for jobs and services in key sectors of American society, including all levels of government and the medical, aviation, and law enforcement communities. The prior administration shelled out $16 million taxpayer dollars worth of diversity training.
Problem reacts to the solution. Now they're gonna come in and everything's gonna be based upon merit. And people hear that and they probably think, oh yeah, well, yeah, only people that deserve the job will get the job. But what are they gonna base you deserving the job on? And it's gonna go back to this. You see, because they're gonna bring in this AI governance, and the AI is based upon science, isn't it not? Scientific racism. This is what the AI said it looks like, by the way. A self-portrait of Dal-E, yeah? All right?
And that's what it is, man. So they're about to restrict life and try to put Jake back into captivity and under them, because if you're not able to sit here and hold these positions that they say you're not able to hold, right? What does that mean for you financially and in the grand scheme of being able to function in his society and his economy? Well, we don't have any jobs fit for what you do IQ wise. So you don't qualify for these. So what are they going to do? They're going to give you the meaningless, menial jobs that you had before, but many of those jobs aren't even here anymore because what? They created machines to be able to do them. Right? So he's basically just trying to put you back into slavery through his technology and his science. But the scriptures tell you the affliction Nahum 1:9, it says, what do you imagine against Yahweh? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time, meaning you devils aren't going to be able to put us back in subjection like that all over again, man. That time is fucking through. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? You're not going to get that type of dub on us at this point. The scriptures say the affliction This is Second Ezra. You know, I'll get this Lamentation 4:22 first. Lamentation 4:22. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Right? So our affliction is accomplished. You being able to put us back in subjection and think that it's going to work with your so-called science. People know your science. A lot of it is bullshit. Second Ezra 6:19, and I'll end it on this, man. See what this says on in its entirety. Yeah, Second Ezra 6:19, it says, and I will make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world shall begin to vanish away, shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, the book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And this is what we're at. The Lord is going to make that inquisition into these devils' plans, and they're going to be brought into judgment. Shalom.